much has toppling top Mexican fighters defined chapters of your career?
Once again, I don't look at what a fighter is.
But they have been key moments in your career.
Once again, I don't look at what a fighter is. When he's in front of me, he's just a fighter. And I don't look at him and say, you know what, this guy is a Mexican, this guy's a black fighter. You know, I'm not going to say African American because I was born in America, so I'm an American. You know, so if he's a black fighter, he's a white fighter. If he's Mexican, to me, once again, they're just fighters. But one thing I can say about Mexico, they produce some legendary champions in the history of boxing, and Mexico is truly amazing.
What kind of reaction are you expecting there?
It really doesn't matter to me. I know who I am as a person, and no one can tell me different.
Well, do you worry about the sport after you retire, given that you're the #1 fighter, and that there's not a whole lot of people that people talk about the way they talk about you? And do you feel pressure to actually carry that sort of #1 fighter thing with you into the ring, and as much as the fighter yourself?
I think the sport of boxing will live on. Would we ever see another Floyd Mayweather? We'll just have to see, hopefully. Hopefully. But I'm just mad because none of my sons wanted to box. You know, my sons, they like, you know, one of my sons like to design video games. The other one, you know, they skateboard now. I said, you know, in my era, we never seen no black skateboarders, but times have changed.
How was the hand that you had injured, and not injured, but the hand that you hurt dinged up against Guerrero?
Well, actually,
how was that?
we got, you know, we went to 3 different doctors, got 3 different X-rays, 3 different opinions, and everything was great. You know, actually at the Guerrero fight, my hand was this big, so you know, I'm glad. You know,
Does it feel okay, even though they say there's no?
You know, I got a hand therapist. I got a hand therapist anyway. Everything is great. You know, I haven't had a chance to go to the boxing gym and use it, and it's so crazy that every time I go to the boxing gym just to, you know, look at the young fighters just, you know, up and coming. You know, it makes me think back from when I first started. But I always give them advice. You know, when I used to be in the boxing gym with Mike Tyson, you know, I wish he would have put me to the side and gave me some advice. But you know, sometimes we learn different things on our own, and I learn things on my own.
Advice on anything in particular?
No, just you know, just about about how to handle certain situations. I learned everything basically on my own.
Floyd, go ahead.
You know, Canelo, when we talked to him earlier, he mentioned about the whole catchweight at 152, saying that, and I have his quote, that he never, contrary to what we said, he never asked for 152 as something that you asked. Could you clarify your stance?
Can I answer that? Yeah, okay. He's a lie. Okay. His representation, his manager, the first time we ever heard of this was through the press. Okay, so if he's allowing his management to speak and he's not authorizing them to do that, that's on him. So the first time that Team Mayweather ever heard of this catchweight situation was when his manager, Reynoso, trainer, put it out.
Well, the thing I look at it like this, he's not forced to do nothing that he don't want to do. You know, if he wants to fight, he can take it. If he don't want to, then he don't got to.
Would you have fought him at 154?
But once again, the weight is what it is. That's the only thing I can say. The weight is what it is. We can't talk about what ifs, woulda, couldas, and shouldas. The weight is what it is. You know, Leonard was the first one to tell me about what they asked for. So, you know, we went back and forth with Leonard and went back and forth negotiating with their team. Him and Al was negotiating back and forth. We finally came up, you know, we finally came up with something where both parties were happy, and then we made the fight happen.